What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, and today we have the Dragon Boat Festival event. So we're going to try to get over this relatively fast, go through the important things, what you need to know as a free-to-play player, what you need to know if you're going to spend some money, the answers to your joyful questions, all that good stuff in one spot. That's what we're going for. So we are going to ignore, for the most part, everything over here. The Fantasy Factory, the Prophet Summons, Heroic Miracles. We don't care. It's basic. Everyone knows how to do it. It's not a shocker to anyone. Spin Prophet Summons, get things. We'll only really talk about the Prophet Summon event in terms of how it pertains to the Dragon Boat Festival, i.e. Zongzis. We will be talking about Zongzis, henceforth called Zs or Zongzis. We'll probably just stick with Zongzi, I don't know, but that's the main important thing. So, Dragon Boat Festival. What do you need to know? First off, for some reason, I might just be blind or stupid. I cannot find the actual rewards that you're supposed to get for using your Zongzis. So luckily, boop, we have this little button over here that I can click, bam, and they did have it on their actual leaks in the Facebook page. So you do know that every 40 Zongzi that you spend does indeed net you 10 of the glorious flags, which you will then use in your flag shop, which functions like every other special shop that we have. You have discounted items, non-discounted items, whatnot. We'll get to that. But this is the breakdown. If you want to screenshot that to look at it later, you can also just look up the Idle Heroes Facebook page, and this will be on there. The main breakpoints we're going to look at today are 80. That's going to be your base level free-to-play player. A 160. We can do a look a little at 120s just because it's there. 160 is important because that's 40 flags. 40 flags allow you to get unlock the exchange shop, essentially, so you can get 1,000 contract starry gems refunded. If you go to 40 flags, you'll get 1,000 contract starry gems back. Worth doing, I would say. I believe this method also allows you to pick up an origin artifact, and as long as you do discounts on everything else and still get that 1,000 contract starry gem refund, that's an important thing to note. The big daddy dongus of all of them here, though, is 280. That's going to get you the 70 flags that you need to fully complete the first whole page of the event. Can you do it for free? Yes. Is it going to take a lot of your life savings? Also, yes. But with that out of the way, we can go ahead and slurp that sucker down. The idea here is here you're going to spend your little Zongzis to cheer on boats. It explains it all over here in the info button. What you got to do your Zongzis. You do get some loot just for sending the Zongzi out and making that thing happen. It's nothing crazy. If you don't do them like successfully, you'll lose a little bit of loot, but it's not going to break your bank. It's not going to ruin your life. It's not going to hurt your family. It's just whatever. Send them out. Every 40 you send, you get your 10 flags. That is the important thing that we're looking at. So where do you get your Zongzis from? That is the second most important thing. We'll look a little bit more in depth. I've got like a whole notepad thing I typed out because I'm just that kind of person. But we have these interviews. These aren't for that. The interview sections. This is pretty, I'll be honest with you, it's pretty easy. You just buy these with gems. You go through that, you get a free pink treasure pretty much. You can't mess this up. You can get less rewards. If you do answer correctly, you get the bonus. If you answer incorrectly, you don't get the bonus. Does it matter? In some cases, yes, it does. For the Core of Transcendence, for example, it is straight up double loot to get the answer correct. Very important. So either way, it's not too hard to decipher. I guess we can just go ahead and I'll buy all these suckers eventually anyways, so let's go ahead and snag all these out. We'll do one real fast so you can see what we're talking about. You gotta, essentially you're vetting people to see if they should get in or not to the event. So this is Shia. She's just passing through by chance. She has a very beautiful embroidered sachet, a necessary sake flask for a long journey. You can ask her questions. Why did you apply? Helping others is also an act of chivalry. Well, that sounds nice. What are your belongings used for? Just some essential items for my journey. Well, this did seem to be essential. Doesn't seem like she's up to anything funky. We'll give her the thumbs up. Are we right? Were we correct? Sure enough, we were correct. We got 13 heroic scrolls. It's very simple. It's not hard to do. This isn't tied into your Zongzis or anything. It's just to get a free pink artifact plus some bonus loot along the way. I would say it's probably worth to get a pink artifact for sure. But also you do get fairly decent loot by doing it as well. That brings us down here to the joyful Q&A. Now, I'm not going to steal credit where credit is due. I didn't come up with all these answers. These answers I found on the old Reddit, and because I found them on the Reddit, thank you to the Reddit bro. I will leave a link to the Reddit where I found this in the description, so you guys can go look at it there if you'd like. I also took the time to just crop it out and make it into a screenshot for you guys, so hold on to your butts. Are your butts held on to? I will sneak out of the way here. Whoop. For screenshot purposes. You've had enough time. Well, hold up. Now you've had 2 chances. Okay. It may be a little bit hard to read, I won't lie to you. It's not the easiest thing in the world. It was blown up from being very tiny writing. But you'll get the gist. It's not too hard. I did, honestly, I was going to sort them all by whiches, what's, whose, whens, where's. Maybe someday I'll do that for you guys. I was a little bit too lazy to do that this time. So you'll just have to look up the answers here. These are all the answers that I found. I didn't have any questions that weren't in this. If you do have a question you couldn't find the answer to, drop it in the comments and we'll get back to you. We'll make sure we get that answered for you. With that said, there's your joyful answers done. Why are they important? They're going to give you a buttload of Zongzi. In fact, if you do all of them, it should net you a hot 60 Zongzi, which is good. 60 Zongzi is great. And that's going to bridge us over into, well, we'll look at the rest of this stuff really fast. Obviously, we know how these work. These aren't very, different than how it always worked. You got your void material discounted, void material discounts, mysterious artifacts, mysterious artifact, origin artifact at wave 4. If you do want to grab an origin artifact, you're doing 40 flags. You got 5, you got 10, you got 15, you got 25, because you did a 10 piece here, 30, 35, exchange shop opens, 5 into contract starry gems. You got your origin artifact, you're happy to go. Good stuff. The one thing to note on this one, of course, is that floor 9, floor 10, and floor 11 all are discounted this time. The only one not discounted is floor 12. That means 65 flags will complete the event. It gives you 5 left over to exchange your contract starry gems. Good things to know. Moving on, we got our daily sign-in bonus. We'll talk a little bit more about this when we're talking about the treasures. Basically, you get 7 free of the event treasure coupons for everyone, and if you do spend, I think it's 15 bucks, you'll get the extra unlock, which allows you to get, I believe, like 28 treasure tickets, I believe, plus some Prism Starry Gems. Not a bad deal. The treasure collection event, 30, 60, and 100. It is doable. We'll talk about that in a moment. You can select festival treasures. In my opinion, this is just me, if you're very big into like Star Expedition and whatnot, and all that stuff, Ethereal Realm, the treasures for this event buff Star Expedition and Ethereal Realm, but you can actually go back and purchase events from earlier, right? I'm probably going to go Maui Wowie here because it buffs the Void campaign. I'm all about buffing my Void campaign, and I can get this a little bit closer to being fully maxed, and that'll be nice. The second one here, same idea. Same story. The pink one, again, same story. You can grab whatever you want, including this one, which I believe buffs... I want to say this buffs Star Expedition. Could be wrong. We can look at that later. But I'm probably going to go with the lamb anyway. Again, it's a buff for a Void campaign. Might as well have it. Plus, I've already got this artifact, so I might as well upgrade it a little bit. With that said, moving down a little bit, we've got the relay. We'll talk about the relay very shortly, just so you guys know. I went ahead and mathed up the cumulative rewards you get for spending money. I did factor in the free lay for Zongzi in my calculations for free-to-play players, and then of course we have the extra loot here. I didn't do a whole lot of calculations with this just because it's not that important. The only time this will really matter to you is if you're really going for a certain level of completions and you might be kind of short on orbs and hoping that you can refund yourself the orbs that you need to get full completions, to get your Zongzis or whatever you want to do. I didn't do all that for you. I'm sorry if you are a little bit short on orbs and you want to try to math what you can get. That's going to be on you this time. That's my bad. But either way, it's pretty similar to how it always is. You get better loot the further you go down. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, with that said, let's go ahead and yoink up this sucker. Actually, let's go to the relay because that'll be the picture for this. Bam! Words and writing. I know, you're like, what the ball sack? That's so many words in writing. You're correct. This was a lot of typing. This was me typing things and doing stuff for you guys. So, the overview. Every completion on your Orbivit gives you 6 Zongzis, 2 treasure tickets. Event treasure tickets. I just put TT here because it's quicker and it's fast. A full completion gets you 48 Zongs, 16 titties. It doesn't give you 16 titties, promise, but it does give you 16 treasure train tickets. The daily sign-in bonus is 7 with your $15 spent, you will get 28, plus your Prism Starry Gems. Things to note. Every 40 Zongzi, 10 glorious flags. That is important. Your joyful Q&A, 60 Zongzis. The link to where I found the answers in the description. Left that reminder to myself in case I forgot. Let's look at the relay. You know what? Yeah, let's look at the relay real quick. For free, everyone gets 5 orbs and 4 Zongzi just for clicking on the button. That's great. Spend spend $5. You do get a little bit of extra stuff here. You're going to get the 100 Prism Starry Gems, 500 gems, 15 orbs, 3 treasure tickets, and 12 Zongzi. This is a cumulative total. This is not for each wave. This is for free, plus $5. This is the $15. This is the $5 package, plus the $10 package. Like I said, it goes up, so these are all cumulative totals. This is not like for each wave. You can look at each wave individually. I just did the math for you, so it's all in one spot. Gives you up to 300 Prism Starry Gems, 500 gems still, 25 orbs, 9 treasure tickets, 22 Zongzis, and your first blessing. That's going to be the blessing that gives you the treasure train tickets with your daily sign-in. $30. 600 Prism Starry Gems, 3,000 gems, 40 orbs, 21 treasure tickets, 37 Zongzis, 5 Crystals of Transcendence, and your second blessing that's going to be for your orb completions. You can look through this and see where I get all my numbers. This way you're not surprised when my numbers pop up later. The value packages, 2,500 Contact Starry Gems, 10,000 gems, 70 orbs, 50 the Fantasy Factory stuff, we're not worried about that. 40 treasure tickets, that can be important, and 60 Zongzi. That will be also very important. So we already talked a little bit about the Zongzi breakpoints. 40 Zongzi, 10 flags. It's important every time you're trying to math out what you should do. You should be trying to get a divisible by 40 number of Zongzi. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting resources for no real reason. So what does that mean? For free to play, if you're not spending any Contract Starry Gems, the max that you can get is 112 Zongzi. This is bad, as the parentheses would denote. Why is it bad? Well, it's not divisible by 40, it's not 120, and it's not 80. So you're stuck in a very bad area where you're 8 Zongzis off of going 1 tier higher, and you have no way to get more without spending, and you're going to grossly overspend if you spend 1,250 Contract Starry Gems at that point. Not worth it. So what should you do if you're going completely free to play and not spending any Contract Starry Gems? You're going to be doing 240 orbs. That is a triple completion. 3 completions all the way through. It gives you 18 Zongzi, plus your question and answers. That's going to be 60 at 78, plus your free lay, 82 Zongzi. That gets you 20 flags. Good to go. That's a very basic level. That's about as cheap as you're going to get the event done. Combining your orbs and your question and answers plus your free lay. Nice to go. With Contract Starry Gems, we have the 120 gold. That's 30 flags. This will allow you, I believe, to get an Origin artifact if you really want one, but you're not going to unlock the extra shop. It's going to kind of stop you early. I don't recommend going for a 120 gold. I feel like it's kind of a waste. I think you might as well just go for the 160 at that point. You can do it pretty easy. A straight up 2,500 purchase with your question and answers get you the 120 Zongzis. A 1,250 Contract Starry Gem purchase with your question and answers and 640 orbs plus your free lay doesn't get you there. So you're going to actually have to spend 2,500 Contract Starry Gems regardless if you want to get to a 160 goal. Really nothing else. Did I mess that up? I might have read ahead of myself. I think I read ahead of myself. Did I read ahead of myself? I think I did. I meant to read this one. But like I said, yes, you can do it with 1,250. That is my bad. Pause off. It's all good. 1,250 gets you 30, plus that's 90. 400 orbs, that's 5 completions of the event, gets you 30. And that's going to give you 120 Zongzi as well. So you can do it with 1,250 if you're going for a 120. Again, I don't recommend doing it this way. You can if you have to, but I think it's much better to go ahead and jump down to the 160 margin, just because for the extra cost of 250 Contract Starry Gems, you're going to get a lot more loot. The reason being, this allows you to do 40 flags, 160 gold. So you spend 2,500 Contract Starry Gems, you get 1,000 of them back, so you're actually only 1,500 Contract Starry Gems invested into the event, and you're going to get a lot more out of it. So I don't think this is a good break point. I just put it in there because I like to be thorough, I guess. But 2,500 Contract Starry Gems gives you the 60. 60 from your questions and answers. 480 orbs, that's going to give you 36. 4 from your free lay gives you a perfect 160 Zongzi. Then, of course, like I said, you go through your discount floors. You want to grab an Origin artifact, you can do that just one time. The rest of them, unlock your little discount thingy, unlock the exchange store, refund yourself 1,000 Contract Starry Gems, and you've had a pretty solid event. Now, you do need 480 orbs to make that happen, but you will get quite a few from using the Contract Starry Gems. I believe it is 70 orbs, not bad. Hopefully you've got a lot stashed up. You should. If you don't, maybe you've gone a little bit ham on events you shouldn't have. Of course, at that point, if you are short because you don't have orbs for completions, you can spend more Contract Starry Gems if you really want to. You can get your orbs in a couple of other ways, but that's the main thing. So 65 flags will complete the full 12 floors. We already talked about that. 70 flags, of course, is going to give you the 5 extra. You can't get 5 flags anyway. But 70 flags is going to recoup the 1,000 starry gems from the bonus shop. 280 goal, that's what you need. You need 280 of the Zongzis to reach 12 floors. How do you get it? If you are going free to play, so you're not going to spend any dollars, you have to spend 5,000 contract starry gems. That's going to be the 2 packs for 60 each. Gives you 120 Zongzi, 2 packs at 1250, that gives you 60. Your question and answers also gives you 60, 480 orbs gives you 36, and then your free lay gives you 4. It equals out to a perfect 280. That's fantastic. So with 7,500 contract starry gems and 480 orbs, you will complete the event. If you don't have 480 orbs, I would assume that snagging out 140 plus 70, 210 more from your CSGs, you should be there. You should be pretty dang close unless you burned them all up, which you shouldn't have done. But that's how you can do it for free. If you're going to use the relay, that's going to be a lot of people. I tend to break it down. I don't even know if you can do it unless you're using contract starry gems in conjunction with relay. But if you're just doing the relay alone, $130 will get you 137 of the Zongzis. Your question and answers is 60. 640 orbs get you 48. That gets you 245, which leaves you 35 short. So that's obviously not ideal. If you end up buying either pack for the contract starry gems, 2,500 or the 1250, 1250 won't get you there. You'll be 5 short. If you go 2,500, you'll be way over. So that's not really a great way of doing things. You're gonna have to spend 2,500 contract starry gems. Remember, you're getting 1,000 of those back, so you're not actually in it for 2,500. But then how you do it, you got your relay, you've got your contract starry gems, you got your question and answers, and you only got to do 360 orbs, and that'll get you to a neat 281 Zongzis. Just 1 over, so you're not grossly overspending. You're in a good spot there. And like I said, this isn't a huge investment because you are going to get 1,000 of those back. For $200, you can easily do it. $200 relay, you've got 207 off rip. Just with the question and answers and a simple triple completion, you're at 285. You're good to go. Easy to do. And there we go. That's kind of the relay portion of things for you. You can look at all the stuff you get there. The RTT, by the way, is regular treasure train tickets. The GR is glorious relics. Festival skin chest. I probably should have typed that up. I didn't. My bad. You'll have to do a little bit of guesswork there. My bad, peeps. Whatever. Treasures. If you're doing free to play and not doing any contract starry gems, you only get 7 for your daily sign-in. If you do the entire event, 640 orbs, you only get 23 treasure train tickets. That's balls. That doesn't even get you to the first break point of 30, so it sucks. It sucks a fat one, and it's not worth doing. 1250 contract starry gems is going to give you 20. You get your 7 here, you get 4 there. It's 31. It will get you an orange, but it's, again, I don't think a very good idea. You might as well just ramp it up. Go 2,500 contract starry gems, because this is also going to help you get that 40 flags that you're looking for in the event. It's going to give you 40 tickets, plus your 7, plus 14 from doing 560 orbs, which is doable, and that gets you double orange artifacts. You get the 30 and the 60 chests that way. Not a bad deal. Plus, you still get your refund for doing your exchange shop. Not bad. If you go all in and do 5,000 contract starry gems and 560 orbs, you do get 101 of them. So for free, you can actually complete the treasure events. Only 4,000 cost if you're using the refund. If you're going to go 5,000 deep, though, I feel like you're already close enough that you might as well go for the 7,500 and fully complete the whole doodad, but that's up to you. This is my breakdown of the event. If there's questions that you have, let me know in the comments. I will get to them. I'll do my best. I will be sleeping here relatively soon, but I'll get to them in the morning. You've got 7 days, so don't worry too much about it. But that's everything that a feller needs to know about the event. Pretty simple, pretty broken down. You've got plenty of things you could screenshot to look at for later. Go ahead and slurp that sucker down. Is there anything that a feller missed? I mean, we could always go over what you can get, but I think everybody knows how this works at this point. You always follow the discounts most of the time. There are times you can go off base and pick up other stuff. If you really want some mysterious artifacts, like you're really looking for a Rui, go for it. You really want a melodic strings, these are things that you can do. I'm not going to sit there and say that you can't. You can get a scissors. Look at that. What is this? Glorious flag selection chest? Hilarious. We don't need that. But if you do go all the way to, get an origin artifact, that is kind of important. Being able to deify artifacts is a big deal, especially making glittery deified artifacts. The jump from being a splendid regular artifact to a just regular glittery deified artifact is huge. So something to keep in mind that these are still available. Obviously, some players are going to be way later on in game and they're looking for transition material and stuff like that. And if you're looking for transition material, I would say just stick to the discounts as far as you can. That's going to be your best bet, of course. And if you're a really, really late game player, the odds that you have a ton of stuff saved up for events should be pretty high unless you just bankrupted yourself, because you've been probably saving, especially your orbs, for a good event for a very long time. But it will get you to the spot where you can get some discounted transition material if you do want it, which is great, and you can pick it up again. And then, of course, if you complete the entire sucker, you can pick one of these for free, Star Soul material for into that kind of thing, Origin material, which I would say is probably the least of these, and then transition material if you're doing the whole thing as well. But as I've said, I believe that is everything that a feller needs to talk about. I think you've got all the information that you need to do the event now, and you shouldn't have any extra questions that I can't answer or haven't been answered here. If you do have them, like I said, leave them in the comments. We're going to drop a really quick exit here because this is not supposed to be a long video. So all the members, thank you. I'm not going to pop up and read you one at a time. It's not because I don't love you. It's because this is supposed to be a quick video and we're already 20 minutes deep. My bad. But that is it for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget, smash that thumbs up button, show your support, and I will see you guys in the next one.